Marty, are you in fact connected to the right internet?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Forget about Cinderella. Gonzaga once again has proven they are legit.
Recording in an atmospheric river means you run the risk of ending up like that David Tennant gif. You know, the one where the guy's caught in the rain, staring solemnly into the abyss until even the void itself turns its back and he's left with nothing but the tears no one can even see because of the unrelenting deluge that is now his only companion. You know, kind of like Mark Pope. This is for Ira Brown.
Oh, it did a great! Oh! Bonus down the lane! Shot clock turned off. Cavalry. Hall. 8 to shoot. Off the runner. Loose ball. It's good. With 4.4 to go. Shannon. It's Goodson by Mendes Gomez for the lead. Oh! Somebody's pre-Goodson. That's it.
Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to Free Ira Brown, the Gonzaga Hoops podcast. Those stories, plus we laugh a lot. At Kentucky, try to find some new names to call Mick Cronin, and maybe we'll do a wellness check on Mark Pope. But first, down in L.A., say hi to Adam.
It's a horrible sound.
Children.
Your life is gross.
Catherine Hahn. I love Catherine Hahn.
He's very funny.
Sharing an atmospheric river with me, up in Seattle, it's Marty.
You like it? Like it? Oh, honey, I love it. Oh, who wouldn't love a wooden brooch in the shape of a turkey's head?
Oh, no. No, that's a maple syrup spigot.
Rose, I love it. Now, this will come in a lot handier than those pearl earrings the next time I'm lost in the woods with a stack of pancakes.
Oh, Marty and his Golden Girls. And in Portland, wet as a dog, I'm Chris.
I hate. How come you're up so late?
It's not that late in Seattle.
Beautiful.
Appropriate, given our 8:30 tip-off on Saturday. We'll get to that, don't you worry. Gentlemen, how are you enjoying your atmospheric river?
Is raining. I saw some video footage of Snoqualmie Falls, and it is like 10 feet higher than it's been. It's like, no, sorry. It's like 17.8 feet higher than normal, or like it's the highest it's been in 10 years, something like that. It's a raging waterfall right now. It's crazy. If you know what it actually looks like normally, then you should go look at it now, and you'll be like, "Wow, Marty's
Wow.
it's crazy."
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Adam, in case you've forgotten, I know you've been down in LA a bunch. Rain is this thing where sometimes the cloud
We
comes
have
in
atmospheric rivers in Southern California every 5 or 6 years. I know what they are. We
It has
had
been-
some rain relatively recently.
It's such a scary name for just a bunch of rain. It's just a bunch of rain. Atmospheric river.
Apparently,
It's
they're called Pineapple Express if they come from Hawaii, and
Yeah,
Rum
they have
Runners
all
if they
kinds
come
of fun
from
names
the,
for just being
the
really
Caribbean.
wet.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
just
really
It's
wet.
been raining for close to 48 hours here in Portland, which leads me to a thought I had because I played soccer outdoors on Monday.
Yeah.
We're recording Tuesday, and I came back actually not as soaked as I feared I might be, but very far from dry. And then I had a feeling when I walked in the house it wasn't actually that cold, which is nice because in colder times this would have been a much more miserable experience. But you know how you walk into like a house that you just sort of come out of the cold, or maybe you're wet or both. That kind of feeling when you first walk into the house and it's warm and it sort of like radiates out from you. I feel like that's a very underrated feeling. You're like out of the weather, you kind of walk in and it like spreads almost like a sip of whiskey a little bit, and grab a drink if there's a fireplace there. I love that feeling. I think it's great. And I kind of walked in and had that little bit of like, not quite elation, but sort of like calm wash over me a little bit. It was nice.
I thought you were heading for a joke.
Nope. No joke.
Yeah,
Not this time.
waiting for
I
like
don't know why you guys would just assume
can't
that.
wait
I went on
for
some
it.
random ass
With you.
tangent.
I
in the
agree with you
middle of nowhere.
100%. Or or getting into like a warm car, like after a day of skiing.
Mm-hmm.
I
was thinking
it's a
about it.
similar feel.
I can't remember what that's like, but I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
The first time I thought of it the other day was when we were talking about it with snow and Marty's distaste for it as a whole, and I was thinking about I came into the house last night and I was thinking about like the last time I kind of remember feeling that, and it's like we went to a cabin in the snow, and like as a, just like a little family vacation to hang out for a couple of days, and you come back in from the snow, like when you're intentionally out there in the snow, it's fun, and you're doing snowballs and you're doing snow angels, whatever. You come in and the house is nice and warm, and you kind of take the wet clothes off, and you just let that like heat. You sit in front of the fire, and the heat just kind of washes over you, and it's a nice feeling.
Yeah,
it's very tis the season kind of thing.
I'll be in Leavenworth in about 10 days. It's going to be
Will
cold.
you ever go outside once?
Yeah, I go out lots. We'll walk around town. I walk the dogs multiple times during the day. The property is amazing to walk up and down the Icicle Island. It's freaking amazing. And the views up the canyon, it's crazy. It's amazing. I will be outside a lot. If you have the right gear, you're good.
Got to have that gear.
It's not like it's that cold. And it won't be that snowy in mid-December.
Despite the atmospheric river?
I don't know how it is in central Washington, but
I guess it is pretty far away.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with it.
Well, I don't know. I definitely won't have any snow here in Los Angeles, but I'm traveling to the Pacific Northwest for Christmas. So
let's go.
I'll be in town there in Burien, the homestead there in Burien.
Might be I'm not a fortune teller, but I think there's a kokanee in your future.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's pretty amazing about having kokanee on hand when I come home. Often it's the first thing that's handed to me as I enter the door, and that's pretty great. And I go, all right, now it tastes like home too.
Now that was the
right on. Is it and hopefully a bottle of kokanee.
Oh yeah. What? Kokanee in a can? Come on.
Adam, have you ever turned down kokanee in a can?
No, but I'd prefer it in a bottle. My
You
father knows that too.
Rainier in the bottle. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can buy it. Some bars have Rainier in the bottle.
Really?
Yeah, I've had.
I don't know that I've ever
seen that. It's been a long time since I've had a Rainier in anything other than a tall boy.
Yeah, no, it's usually that's how you get your Rainier.
Yeah,
but I love it in a bottle, and then in a draft, it's even better.
Yeah, draft is the best for just about every beer.
Just about everything, right?
Anyway, let's transition very smoothly and seamlessly to the news.
Oh yeah, it is.
I report the news. That's what I do. And today's top story read something like this.
All right, polls GU 8th in the AP, 7th in the coaches, 2nd seed in Lenardi's latest bracketology in the Midwest with Michigan. St. Mary's is a 7 in the South.
Boo.
Braden Smith named WCC Player of the Week. That's the first time he's won the award. Congrats to Braden. Sorry, did I say Braden Smith? I meant Braden Huff. Congrats to Braden Huff. The lads will be donning the royal blue throwbacks for their game against Camels on the 17th. Ooh. And this podcaster appreciates the change. Notable basketball results this week. Iowa State pounded #1 Purdue in Purdue. Duke won a physical game over Michigan State. BYU came back from 22 points to win at the buzzer over Clemson on Tuesday.
Idiots.
And Michigan only beat Villanova by 28, so it appears the magic is over in Ann Arbor. Finally this week, Notre Dame's football program was left out of the 12-team playoff, and the team subsequently pulled itself out of any bowl game they may be invited to. That reminds me of that sign that all the Notre Dame players touch on the way out of the tunnel, on the way to the field. It says, what does it say? Something like, act like a total frickin' baby today? Something like that. I can't really remember what it says.
I saw one. I saw it on
like
Twitter. Somebody had a picture of it on Twitter, and I think it said, play like a champion today, and then underneath, unless you're omitted from the championship, in which case deny every game that you want to play.
Okay, so similar bit.
Similar vibes.
Did you guys, I know you guys hate college football, but do you
I don't
follow,
hate it, I just don't care.
Do you follow that? The whole quote-unquote snubbing of Notre Dame?
I knew it happened. They weren't
snubbed.
They weren't snubbed. It was
they weren't. But the way that the committee did it was like brutal rug pulling.
Really?
No,
I didn't see any. I didn't know how it happened.
All of the rankings leading up to the most important one, they had Notre Dame in ahead of Miami, even though Miami beat Notre Dame.
Right. That was most of the crux of the argument that I heard.
So, no, Miami beat them head to head. I don't know how they could complain because Miami beat them, but the committee did have Notre Dame ahead of Miami in the last, I don't know how many, like 3 or 4, or last 2 or 3 rankings that came out. And so, and they both didn't play. They didn't play in the last week of conference championship week. And all of a sudden they get flipped and Miami's ahead of Notre Dame. So it's like total rug pulling. And Notre Dame freaked out, of course, which is beautiful because I can't stand Notre Dame. Anyway, Wah, wah,
I have
wah,
a,
wah, wah, wah,
guy I
wah.
play basketball with. Used to play quarterback at Notre Dame. He's going to be
Really?
a sad panda.
No bowl game at all. They could have gone to whatever, like the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl or whatever the best non-playoff
Whatever
bowl
bowl.
game is. Whatever the
Yeah,
best non-playoff
peaches,
game.
oranges.
And they like give a whole bunch of swag for
Lawnmower.
all those players, and they get to do fun things as a
Supposedly,
team.
it was the
all
players
the
met with
memories
the
they
coaches,
won't
and
have.
the players said no. That's what I had read. It was the players said no.
Oh.
They're thinking short term, but they might regret that when they're older
Yeah.
men and they're looking back like we lost out on all these memories.
Also, supposedly the head coach Freeman is on the short list for the Giants. Head coach.
Oh,
So
really?
He may not be there for all that.
That's a long
Much
short
longer.
list.
I hear Pete Carroll might be
my
available
God.
for a reunion with Russell Wilson. Would you be interested, Chris?
I would if it were on the Jets.
Ugh.
That would be quite hilarious if it were on the Jets. It'd be very Jets to do that. I don't
Yeah,
want
this is definitely
either
the
one of
most
them
college
near the
football talk
Giants.
we've ever had on this show.
That's
Except
true.
for maybe perhaps
no, we just
Huskies-
transitioned to the Giants now. We're under the NFL.
the Huskies
right.
national title failure. We talked about that.
We talked about that.
That was
Sure.
news. in
The Huskies are
Pacific
playing-
Northwest.
In a bowl in your neck of the woods, Adam, you could go see him in the LA Bowl. This is the earliest bowl ever. It's this Saturday.
It's this. Yeah, I was offered
What,
tickets.
really?
I can't go. I was.
What
I
the
was
heck?
offered tickets.
What
to
kind
go.
of bowl plays on December 13th? What?
The LA Bowl? What
The
difference does
LA
it make
Bowl.
what day it is?
A
The weather's the
a
same.
not real one.
This is the like Boise State, I think. They're playing
yeah,
Boise State.
Washington. That's actually like probably gonna be a fun game.
Isn't the head coach at wasn't the head coach at UW or something at one point a former Boise State guy?
No,
or
that
vice
guy was
versa
like
or
2
something?
coaches ago.
No, that was
I mean,
Peterson.
hey, I knew that. It was
You
that's-
did. Good job.
Fish is a Florida guy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, proud
Let's
day
do
for you and your
something
family.
that we know slightly less about and talk about college basketball instead. Especially, how this is just. Can we just luxuriate for a moment
I like that. Luxuriate.
Mm-hmm.
in the ardor of Kentucky fandom?
Oh man.
In the misery
yes.
that the
yes.
big
Yes.
blue, what do they call themselves? Big Blue
Big Blue
Nation?
Nation.
Because
Yes. I feel it. I feel it in my
It just-
bones.
the Giants, not Kentucky, you savages. But oh my God, the entitlement from Kentucky fans. Already, there are polls on Twitter. Should we fire Mark Pope? Not even a season and a half in after he was a 3 seed last year.
He
and
completely
played fun,
overachieved last
entertaining
year in a
basketball.
serious way.
Didn't
That's
they make the
fine.
Sweet 16?
Like, we're doing things here, and it's just so great to watch, isn't it?
It is. It's fun.
It makes me so happy.
But I kind of like Mark Pope. He's a nice guy, but I don't think he's a great coach. But I think it's also a little unfair, don't you think? That he doesn't have Diabate. He's injured. He doesn't have Jaden Quaintance. Although
Small thing there.
And although I guess one could argue, why would you sign Jaden Quaintance knowing that he torn his ACL, knowing you wouldn't even have him until like January?
Yeah.
Which may or may not be a fair argument or whatever. But he's going to be. They should be. They have to be better, right? When they get Diabate back, when they get Jaden Quaintance back,
I mean,
they'll be more physical. At least they'll be more
Sure.
physical because they didn't want anything to do with Gonzaga. Like they were
No.
just like, no, you do what you
No.
want. We won't really play hard. We won't really try to
It was-
challenge you at all.
It really
Well,
was.
Let's get into the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's start, Adam. Give me your one big takeaway, your headline from this lovely weekend of basketball.
I mean, I guess my big is just erasing the Michigan loss, like just
Mhm.
completely moving on. So I guess the theme is
Because
moving on.
there was some trepidation, wasn't there? I mean,
There
we were
was some
thinking like, what
trepidation, yes.
kind of team is going to show up after looking so poorly, being beaten by 40? Who's going to show up? Yeah, that's a good call. They showed up
They sure did.
Indeed.
both games.
I'll just jump in there just because mine is similar in that vein. And it's just response. And, no one's going to confuse this version of Kentucky for a national title contender or anything close to Michigan's level. But, I mean, that's not Gonzaga's fault. And the only thing the Bulldogs can do is find a way to respond to what happened to them last game. And boy, howdy, it wasn't perfect, but Gonzaga leaned into its strengths on the defensive end and in the front court, and they made Kentucky look bang-ass average, if we're being generous. And,
That would be
Kentucky's offense, especially in the first half, had a lot to do with that. It wasn't all Gonzaga forcing stuff. But if you had questions about the fight in the heart of this Gonzaga team, there's not really a better way to respond than to go into a hostile environment and turn the really partisan crowd against its own team. And if you want to add to it the kind of added layer of blowing that 18-point lead last year to the same program.
Thanks for the reminder there.
Yeah, but no doubt. I mean, but if you're going to question, like, and I will not say that we questioned it, but the questions arose in the sense of we didn't doubt it, but they had to answer. And you were walking into a hostile environment after the biggest ass kicking in memory in Mark Few's history, and you ended up having a chance to not only make amends for that, but also right the wrong from last year. And they absolutely did. And in terms of responses, I don't think it gets much better than that from a zoomed out view. So, Mard, your headline.
Well, I was going to say something about resistance is futile, but I changed it because there wasn't any resistance at all. So I changed my headline to no resistance. Kentucky gave no resistance.
Is futile.
And maybe that resistance is futile is better for North Florida because they gave more resistance than Kentucky. They at least tried. So they just got whatever they wanted in both games, inside, outside, in between. There was no physicality from Kentucky at all and no match physically from North Florida because they just couldn't. They just can't. There's no one over 6'8". But they just manhandled both teams. I mean, it was fun to watch. 50 assists on 79 made baskets, which tells you.
Was that on the weekend or was that in the
both games? 50 assists on 79 made baskets. No,
wow.
They didn't make 79 baskets in one game.
Fantastic.
But like that's a good. It's just a really good indicator of offense flow and working. The ball's moving. The ball's not sticking. The open guys are open, and Kentucky is just like. Not resisting at all. So yeah, that was my headline.
It was.
I love it.
So this Kentucky game. I mean, we Kentucky got bad losses. They haven't beat anybody over like KenPom 100 or whatever.
I mean, they don't have horrible losses until. I mean, they lost. Michigan State. They kind of got pounded, but they were there in that Louisville game. They lost that, but in the North Carolina game was really close.
They were up most of that game.
It was the Michigan State game that was not good. They got pounded on the glass, but then ours was. Really
but again,
bad.
Well, I mean,
this was another level.
You know, what we talked about with Austin. You know, we talked about. You know, this Kentucky team really needed this win. This is like a big deal game for them. Like this, they needed a good showing against a quality opponent, and for them to show up and just, I mean, completely outclassed, like you said, Mar, no resistance. They weren't physical with us. They didn't try to push us around. We were just.
That's how you beat us.
To wherever I mean, Michigan showed how you beat us. I'm not sure that many teams can actually implement that plan. I don't think there are many. There are probably like 3. But, you know, this Kentucky team certainly is not one of them. And just the lack of effort and the thing that drives me nuts, it doesn't make any sense to me, is Mark Pope brought in these guys. None of them could shoot. None of them are shooters. All of Mark Pope's like best teams had guys who could shoot.
Yeah.
He brought in guys last year. And they shot the ball well, and they played well together as a team, and they overachieved. And great for Mark Pope. I actually, like you said, Mard, I actually like Pope. I mean, he was a fun guy to root against when he was at BYU, and seems like a nice guy. And I thought he did an incredible job last year with Kentucky, getting them to where he got them to. And this year they bring in athletes, not teammates, and none of them can shoot, and it's a huge problem because Mark Pope's offenses he wants to have guys shooting the ball. He wants people having the green light, and these guys. It was almost like he didn't change his game plan for the personnel he had because these guys were still jacking up threes, even though they were clanging, airballing. I've never seen so many.
Austin seemed to imply that maybe Pope didn't have the final say on some of these.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I misread that. I don't want to put words.
Well, I mean, I obviously have no idea.
Yeah,
it's baffling to me that he would construct a team in this way when it's like nothing else he's ever constructed. And maybe the resources there. Like, oh man, these guys are all fantastic. Look at the ratings and blah. And they are. They're like fantastic players, but they're not a team.
They sure aren't. Like this is like the epitome of like the mercenary feel of like college basketball, right? When people complain about it. It's this team.
And it seems like Kentucky, to me, it's like very obvious that Kentucky would be number 1 on the list of the mercenary college basketball team. But Mark Pope would be low on my list of coaches who would engage in that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there's a little bit of a disconnect there. Anyway.
It's exacerbated by the fact that they don't have a front court. And
Yeah.
they should have Mohamed Diabate, but he's got an ankle problem. And they will get Jaden Quayton. So they'll get both those guys back. They'll be much better. Like, they had to play a freshman, a huge dude. Malachi Moreno's giant, but
And he
7
actually
foot,
played
250.
okay.
Well, he didn't get his first rebound until like 10 minutes to go in the game.
Oh, dear. I didn't realize that.
He just got bullied around. He's a big guy. In fact, in the last week's pod, I think I made the joke that he's got a baby face. He just looks like a little baby, like a little boy, in a giant man's body.
Right.
And he kind of played like it, I think.
It's like he's huge, but he doesn't know how to use it. He doesn't know how to use his size yet.
Well, he's really young, and he had 24 minutes, so he played a lot, and he got 2 rebounds. 7 foot tall, 250 pounds, 24 minutes, 2 rebounds. That tells you a lot. So they just didn't have a front court to work with against Gonzaga. That's a death sentence.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I'll transition that perfectly into my first zacking up, which is in fact front court domination. Because you look at EK, and I'm sure we'll talk plenty about him. 28 and 10 in this game, 3 assists and a steal, 11 of 18 from the floor. Huff, 20 points, couple of boards, 3 assists and a steal, 9 of 11 from the floor. Combined 48, 12, 6 assists, 2 steals, while shooting 20 of 29 from the floor, combined 6 plus 63 on the day. When you look at the front court of Moreno and Cam Williams for Kentucky, 5 total points, 4 total boards, 1 assist, couple of steals, but they shot 2 of 9 from the floor, combined minus 45. I mean, that, like, to Mar's point, they didn't have a front court.
no.
Like, obviously, Quaintance and what's his face, Diabate would make a big difference there. Where they made enough, probably not. I mean, this is a 35, 40-point game, but at least they might have been a little bit more competitive on the front court. I mean, this was just an interior complete butt whooping. If you removed every offensive board Gonzaga got, they would have won the rebounding battle by 2. Like, this is just, it's just crazy. And, you add to the North Florida doesn't have the horses, but even Huff was with EK out, another 24 points on 12 of 17 shooting. It's the front court just doing its thing. So that was great to see. Or sorry, Adam, what's your first zacking up?
Well, I'm going to go with, how about 3-point shooting, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
How about that? We got in that North Florida game, 10 of 18, 55% from beyond the arc in Kentucky game.
Yeah, buddy.
It's an even 50%, 9 of 18 shooting from beyond the arc. Absolutely lights out work from the lads. And again, we've said it before, but like, if this team can shoot threes at 40% or better, their Final Four chances are greatly.
If they're a 40% shooting team from 3, this is a top 5 team on KenPom. Oh wait, we already are. But if then we
were number 1 offense in KenPom.
You're getting real close.
Yeah, because if we can kick out and you can't collapse, then you're hosed. And they came from kind of all over in both of these games. I mean, Adam Miller finally maybe he's finding a stroke a little bit. He shot well in both these games, right? He had the I don't know what he did in the 1 of 2. Yeah, so 50% or better in both these games. If he can hit, 3-footers in a game like he did in Kentucky, thank you. And you know what else I like about Adam Miller? He has a really great runner floater.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Right?
Interior game. Super surprised.
I did not expect that, but he has that. It's not a traditional floater because it's not like a stop. The floater traditionally is like a dribble, and you kind of stop and pop.
You know what he's shooting from 2-point range?
No, what is he shooting?
71%.
Oh,
he's 20 of 28. He's 66 in the country.
That's amazing. I didn't realize he was.
Because that's how he's been until the last couple of games where he's got his 3-point stroke goading. He got his 3-point stroke going.
We'll go with it.
We'll go with goading. The way he's contributed 5 or 6 points in a game is by getting to that little floater, 9-footer, 8-footer, and he's just money with that. So yeah, he's 20 out of 28 from inside the arc.
Anyway, he was really good in both these games and shot well from beyond the arc. Mario Sansuperi also looking good from three land, which I loved.
Very, very good.
Yeah. 4-4. Oh, shit. Yeah. I didn't watch all that North Florida game because it was just a lot. But yeah, 4-4, 3-point. Jesus. Steal, 4. Man. Great. Anyway,
yeah,
3-point shooting.
North Florida didn't put up much in the way of resistance, but
no, but 3-point shooting is 3-point shooting.
Yeah. I'll like it a lot more when it's against the Tier B and A competition like it was against Kentucky. I was much more pleased about that.
Course.
But to be sure, 19 of 36 on any weekend, I will happily accept. Mard, what's your sagging up?
I'll take sharing the ball. So in the Kentucky game, we had 5 players with 3 or more assists. We had the same number of players with 3 or more assists in the North Florida game. So
Florida.
Sharing the ball, sharing the love, feeling the funk, loving it.
What was
the ball is not sticking, it's moving.
Mard, you're crazy not crazy to start the season. Was that Gonzaga will have at least 3 players average 3 or more assists.
I don't think it's happening right now. Let's see.
It's got to be getting close.
No, because it's not. I'm looking at it. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Super is at 5. Braden Smith at 4.5, and then Graham's at 2.5. So it's not going to happen.
Okay.
I don't hold out hope for that.
Ye of little faith.
One of my things that I said on that prediction was, on that pod was that Emmanuel Innocente was going to shoot 35% from 3, and he's at 45%. So that's looking good.
He also had 6 assists against Kentucky, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. I'll do, a selfish one, if I may. Where did that go? My entire outline disappeared.
Oh.
Sorry. There it is. My apologies. My what? Tweets then when the lineups are announced. Big time zagging up. Because so far today,
mixing it up.
Both games this weekend, more starting lineup rotations. Do you guys remember a more volatile starting lineup?
I can't.
Just more turnover than this one. Like I didn't really have time to dive fully into it. Of course, against Kentucky, Innocente and Steele back into the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron Grant Foster and Adam Miller to the bench. Against North Florida, EK didn't play because of his ankle. So Worley got his first start of the season, which makes 9 different people having started games in 10 games.
That is not happening with Gonzaga.
No.
Last year, apparently, I did look a little bit. Apparently, last year, we had 9 players start games. 1 for Dusty and 1 for Joe Few on senior night. And thankfully, nothing bad or worth discussing happened there. Again, in 2024, we had 7 players. 1 was a single solitary start for Jun Suk Yo, which I think if we remember, that was the game when Few was like, I got to find ways to get him on the court. So he started him and then he played him like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then in 2023, we had 6, and 1 of those was Malachi on senior night. So essentially the same starting 5 all season. 2022, we had 7, but the two of them were Will Graves and Matthew Lang on senior night. So essentially the same starting 5. In 2021, 7, but 1 was Aaron Cook on senior night. In 2020 was 8, and 5 of those were for Anton before his shoulder went out. That was his freshman year. And then 4 for freshman Drew Timme. So basically we've had somewhere around 7 people start games over the course of the season,
including senior night starters.
In some cases, including.
Yeah.
So, and in 10 games, we've already had 9 people start.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I just don't remember any level going back of turnover this much on the starting lineup. And I don't know if that is a testament to our depth. I don't know if that is a sign the coaches can't quite figure it out. Maybe a little bit of both, or maybe the whole point is to experiment with rotations. But yeah, it's just, the ability for me to tweet that has now gone sky high.
I think the lineup changes were good, like in terms of a balance. Like Tyon, I think, works better with, like, there was a time in Vegas, I think, when we had Braden Smith, Emmanuel Innocente, and Jalen Ward all on the floor at the same time, and that's kind of a rough offensive group. So putting like Tyon with Braden Smith, I think, makes sense. Braden Smith's kind of like not as flashy as Supri. Tyon's very flashy, right? So Tyon with Braden is a good unit, I think.
I do think that's a lot of it, is finding the combinations that work rather than individual players that work.
And Innocente is another one who's like steady. So let's put him with Mario, who's flashy.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out a little bit more. And then we don't have too many more, elite level games and A level games, more than we have in the past. Excuse me, but we have obviously UCLA, which we'll talk about, and then the St. Mary's games, and then it looks like Santa Clara on the road is poised to be an A level, and according to KenPom. But man, I do kind of think you're right there, Mark. I do think the pairings are super important rather than individual players.
We haven't really talked about Supri that much. That his game against Florida was freaking unreal. Like, do you see all the passes he had in that game?
And he only played in 20 minutes because he had really foul trouble.
He had that crazy spin bounce pass that just right into the breadbasket. He had a behind the back pass at some point. He had a behind the head pass.
Yeah,
and all in the same game.
He had this weird floating pass.
Awesome.
He was coming down the court and Huff was cutting. And it was like a little floater pass, like underhand thing that was out in front. And he had to get it around the defender. And it was just real slick. He's just really a slick player.
He's slick is a good way to describe
I love how he pushes. Man, I love watching him.
He hit that three and got fouled. He's drawn fouls. He's a real savvy player, man. He can do it.
And nobody saw this kind of 3-point shooting from him. I mean,
long may it last.
I think we were hoping for it'd be great if he could get 35%. I would be really happy with 35%. Currently, it's 54%.
And that's after a run where he had a couple of games in a row where he was bad.
So that's pretty exciting.
That's very exciting. Adam, any other zagging ups you want to hit?
Zagging ups. Let's hit. I see zagging up. I guess he is. Just Steele's ability to be out there doing his thing.
So great to see.
It's just really, and it makes me feel like we really could have used this guy last year and the year before. My God, when he was slated to be out there, he just looks confident. His confidence being on the floor is zagging up, continues to zag up. It's been zagging up all season, but it really seems like he's finding the form he had when he was the player of the year in the conference at Eastern.
Yeah. Make those threes. I mean, he's here to make threes. He's got to make threes when he has open shots, and lately he's making them. I think he's hit 12 in the last 4 games. Something like that.
It's been rather nice to see. And oh man, does it bring such a new dimension from our offense. I think this is the last 5 games, Mark.
Especially when Adam's hitting them too.
Yeah.
And they're both hitting them.
I mean, if you got Saints, I guess Supri and they're not going to be on the floor very often, the 3 of them together.
Dude, we're talking about 3-pointers. We got to play the moment with Heister. This is the perfect spot to play it.
Okay. I'm down.
Hit that drop. You guys catch this. This was so funny.
Yeah, this was it.
Gonzaga now 6 of 9 from behind that 3-point line. What was all the discussion about Gonzaga not being a good 3-point shooting team?
Well, the percentage would indicate that is how it is. But, I think it's more of a consistent.
But let's go back to the 3-point discussion. But they were 57% against Southern Utah, Maryland 14 of 33, at Kentucky they were 13 of 16, and tonight they're 5 of 8. I contend this is a 3-point shooting team. They just have had a few outliers that have drugged that percentage down.
Well, yeah,
it's just like when you were in school, you take your best and you take your worst and you throw them away. Gonzaga's pretty close to 40%.
I've never wanted you to be right more than right now.
I love Fox just.
You. Yes, they were 9 of 18.
I mean, I will say this. If Gonzaga feels like they can flirt with an 80% from 3, I will accept that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be stoked if they just did that in free throws going forward. That'd be great.
That's true, too.
Hey, how about Tyon hit 9 of 10 from the line? The heck?
Yeah, look at that.
That's stupid, but yeah, sure.
Hey, if he wants to flirt with 90%,
yeah,
I will. Who am I to argue? Mard, any other zagging ups on yours before we let Adam do his?
I don't have
Okay,
anything.
I got one more. I want to do Braden Smith because listen,
especially against Kentucky,
he's not perfect, and we may genuinely not really get what we kind of thought we might get from him this season. But this was, I think, for me, his best pair of games, especially against Kentucky, even if the scoring wasn't necessarily spectacular. But that first half against Kentucky, 7 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, a pair of steals, just 1 turnover. I mean, at worst, it's a positive platform to build from. But, I mean, he was genuinely very good against Kentucky. And when you consider they didn't really have another option, given that Mario had 2 fouls in, 6 minutes, whatever it was. For me, if this is going to be a season where he's going to contribute consistently, this is the turning point.
Yeah, great. I love that one. I texted you. He was in, and I was like, "Damn it!" I had like a total negative text about him. I was like, "He got lost on a backdoor cut. He got caught watching the ball.
Yeah,
and he gave up a dunk behind him." And I was like, "Get him out of there! I'm so tired of him." And then immediately he just like started playing better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think it was very early. It was his guy missed a shot and then got the rebound or something. And
it was something stupid. Like,
something
you gotta
like that.
just pay attention to where your man is, kind of thing.
Yeah, he was trying to think ahead, and
I had a mean comment, and then he, then he went on.
And he played the best he's played
game
in a Gonzaga uniform.
So hey, cheers,
Adam. Cheers indeed. When you get done sipping your beer, do your thing for your guy.
Oh, do my thing for my guy.
Oh, guys, son,
we found Fogel. Give me those glorious Fogel minutes with 10 shots in 18 minutes. Give me them all against North Florida.
It's the best.
So fun.
Okay. We got to look at the per 40 minutes scoring.
it's like
per 40 minutes scoring. He is number 1 on the team at 32.4 points per 40 minutes. Yes, sir. Yes,
you know
sir.
how you see sometimes every now and again, fans will get a little upset about the bench mob jacking up threes, and people are like, dude, this might be the only chance they get to do it. Like, let him just go shoot. That's sort of just the permanent attitude he has. He's like, hey, I don't know what I'm going to play next. I'm going to get all my shots in.
I'm going to get shots.
Well, Mark Hughes said as much. He said pretty much that same thing. He said Fogel knows when it's garbage time. I think he said something like that. He's got to figure out. Yeah. You got to figure out how to make, when he's actually playing in real minutes, then who knows how that will work. He's got to work on reads. And
he came in against Kentucky, and genuinely, it was less than 2 seconds before he had a shot up. They ran a curl for him off an inbounds, and it was not 2 seconds, and he had the shot up. It was just like, yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah,
please never change.
You love the confidence. You love the aggression. He's showing it from all parts of the floor.
Yeah, he's scoring from all 3 levels. All levels. I mean, he's not a fantastic 3-point shooter, but he's
but he's not inefficient totally.
Right.
In the macro.
He's okay.
Yeah, per 40 minutes, he's averaging 32 and 8.
I mean, that'll do.
Free throw shooting 86% from the line.
He's 3 of 6 from 3 this year in his 6 attempts. I mean, he looks like a friggin' awesome scorer. Like, I can't wait. I mean, I don't think you're going to expect much from him in this year, even by March. But next year, man, if he stays,
indeed,
he better stay.
You gotta the team's gotta sell him on.
Yeah, you
the role he'll have next year, and the role he'll have next year is the role he'll have next year is really going to be big.
Yeah, he's going to be the primary scorer next year. I would bet you.
Man. He's going to score 22 points a game. He's going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
what'd you say, Martin? I missed it.
If they have Huff back,
that Huff will be back.
He'll be
one hell of an inside-outside.
I mean, that sounds great. Yeah. Sign me up, Deanne.
Absolutely,
Deanne, Huff, and Fogel. Yes, please.
Yes, indeed. And he's Galing Downs. Sorry, God, I always do that. Any Galing Downs we want to?
I don't know. Both these games are pretty good.
I have 2.
I don't want to be negative.
I'll do one. And it's just
Nelly.
Mark Pope's self-esteem from the countless exasperated looks to this guy during the game, and a number of weird comments in the presser. And I just sort of want someone to check on Mark just to do like a wellness.
Yeah.
He tried to take responsibility of everything after the game, which is great. Like what you should do as a good coach. And he just sort of struggled to put forth a coherent response to anything. One of the reporters asked him about DeMarcus Cousins' tweet where he said, "Can't lie, this UK team has no heart. It's hard to watch." Shake my head. And Pope replied, "I have no issue with what he said in the sense of you're watching that game. You feel like starting with the coach, this problem is completely unacceptable. So I think as a former player, I think it was pissed. It says frustrated with the coach too. And that's just all deserved. There's nothing inappropriate about what he said." And later he said, "All the boos we heard tonight were incredibly well deserved, mostly from me." I assume he means deserve
me.
them, not that he was doing the booing.
Yeah.
But could you blame him if he was doing the booing? Might have been
No.
ringleading. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just, he felt like a guy who's been beaten down by the pressure already. And apparently they had a much better game tonight against whatever, North Carolina Central or whatever they played. But yeah, it was, as we record on Tuesday, you just sort of feel bad for him a little bit there. He seems like he might be a little.
Well, we're gonna have to root
uphill.
we're rooting for him now. We're Kentucky fans.
Yeah, we are Kentucky fans. We need
On Saturday they play Indiana. I mean, this might be a good time to talk about resume, but on Saturday they play Indiana.
You ready?
You ever look at an old resume and just marvel at the lies?
Resume.
Gonzaga is. Let's see. Oh, this is the women's. Gonzaga is. I was looking at the women's net. It's like, where's Gonzaga? They're not ranked in here.
What?
The big thing that happened this week is we have an extra Q1 win thanks to Arizona State.
Go Sun Devils.
They are now in the top 75, which makes them a Q1 win. So we have Alabama neutral, Kentucky neutral, Arizona State road, and then we're 3-1 in quad one. That's great. We got to root for all those teams we beat. Kentucky's playing Indiana, and so that's an opportunity for them to build their resume, which helps our resume.
And they play St. John's?
Yeah. So other teams like Oklahoma 78th in net. We want that to go up. Obviously, they do. They lost to Arizona State. They play Oklahoma State, which is a big opportunity. Oklahoma State's a top 50 team. That's on the Saturday. Creighton's a mess, but they do they do play Kansas State and Xavier on Saturday, and then on Wednesday of next week. Arizona State's our hero. We love Arizona State. We got what can they do to hold on to this top 75 ranking? Well, they play Santa Clara on the 13th, and they play UCLA on the 17th. So they get UCLA. They get our sloppy seconds. So go Arizona State. We love those Sun Devils. Stay top 75, please.
They kicked Northern Arizona's butt today.
Good.
Alabama plays Arizona on the 13th. A lot of games on the 13th, but that's a big one. Alabama against Arizona. Go Bama. Maryland's. I mean, we put them in a neutral, so they're
stay afloat.
They're quad
Stay
3. There's really not much hope for them becoming quad 2. They would have to jump 71 spots in the net.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But they get to play Michigan on the 13th. So have fun with that one.
I'll lay the points.
Yeah, right.
So there's as we go into the season, hopefully we keep adding teams we beat and keep adding teams we need to root for. So hopefully we'll take care of business and keep marching away. Yeah. How many more Q1 opportunities? UCLA is probably going to be one.
UCLA,
because it'll be
St. Mary's
neutral,
away.
Right? Because that's not home. St. Mary's away, Santa Clara away.
That's about it.
I mean,
maybe St. Mary's can get up high enough to be a Q1 for our home game, and then we'll get them in whichever team makes the final, I suppose. At WCC final, assuming we make it, which we will.
Hopefully, it's St. Mary's again. Yeah, we're 4th in the net right now. Let's see.
That's pretty good.
That seems good.
St. Mary's, you guys checked it? I just
15.
checked it.
No, I've not.
15
in the net.
15 in the net.
So that's a quad 1 in both. That's easily a quad 1 in both home and away.
All right.
Got to beat those sons of bitches.
Comfortably. So that's 2 quad 1 opportunities. So
gotta beat them.
Yeah, we will beat them. I did mention this. I'll just read some fun numbers from the weekend. I didn't mention this in the domination inside, but I should have. Our total points in the paint on the weekend, 104-2.
Oh, baby.
Which is pretty solid. Kentucky's offense, especially in that first half, 5 of 31 from the field, 3 of 20 from 3, 20 total points. And it's not usually a good sign when the spokesman's story has a line which reads, "The Wildcats were better in the second half, shooting 27% overall."
No.
That does not bode well for your day. From the 13:08 mark in the second half against UNC, when Brandon Garrison made a 3, to the 11:04 mark left in the first half against Gonzaga, when Aberdeen made the first field goal of the game for the Wildcats, Kentucky shot a combined 2 of 26 from the floor, 0 of 11 from 3, with 8 turnovers in essentially 22 minutes of game time.
Imagine if you paid money to watch your team, and that's what they did. You would go to watch that big game against,
I might boo
team,
also.
and that's what they did.
Gonzaga missed its first 5 shots against Kentucky and shot 57% from the floor. And Gonzaga is, according to CBS Sports, the first team to lose to a ranked team by 30+, and then the very next game beat a ranked team by 30+.
Yeah, I saw that. That's fun.
What a weird.
Boy, it's sure making that Michigan team is sure making you feel a little bit better about being beat by 40 because they beat everybody by 40.
Yeah,
but then this on the other hand, I'm thinking, oh man, can anybody beat? Are they just going to win every game and beat Indiana Hoosiers from 1975? Is this the best team in the country by a mile?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
We'll
crazy.
see. They played a couple close games earlier in the season, so maybe they'll.
Now they're on such a heater.
They're certainly on a heater.
They're
They
peaking
won
too
30
early. They're
again,
peaking too early.
and they didn't even shoot well in the game tonight
Yeah.
against Villanova. They shot like 7 of 25 from 3 or something.
So,
Yeah.
But I hope, to your point, Adam, they are absolutely peaking too early.
Yeah.
It's goof. I'll finish with this. When the line came out for Gonzaga, North Florida, Marty, you texted, what do you think the line is? And I assumed it was going to be low to mid 30s. 47.5, I think was the line you said. And I was like,
covered
yeah,
it.
I
They
think
covered
I
it.
finally found a line that would make me not bet on Gonzaga. And of course, they covered. So
47.5. That's laying the lumber.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Bad.
pretty brutal. So, all right, let's take a look at how the Gonzaga women did this week.
You got to put it up if you're Kaylin. Oh, no! Across the halfway line, and that three-pointer makes Allie Turner the all-time single-season record.
So the women are maybe finding a groove. They had a couple interesting games. They beat Grand Canyon. They beat UC Davis in 2 very different games. So in the Grand Canyon game, Grand Canyon's not very good. And so Gonzaga had trouble. It was a squeaker. The problem was they could not shoot from outside. Terrible 3-point shooting and awful ball control, which is a ongoing problem with the women. They just turn it over like crazy. I think for the season, I heard Carr say this or on a podcast, or he posted it, one of the 2 things, that they're -4 per game on turnovers this year, which is a terrible number. They turned it over 22 times against Grand Canyon, but it didn't hurt them. It hurted them, but it didn't make them lose. They won 62-58. Squeaked it out with they were behind heading into the 4th in that game. Lauren Winter got a 24. And so they took that poor shooting effort and they flipped the switch against UC Davis and had the best half of basketball they played all year. They scored 53 points, hit 10 3-pointers in the half, and were ahead 53. It got even worse than that. It was 53-24 at half. But then in the third quarter, it was 64-34, up by 30, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Jeez.
And so then UC Davis had 8 possessions in the final. This is crazy. Listen to what they did. UC Davis had 8 possessions in the final 3.5 minutes of that quarter, and they scored on 7 of them, which is impressive. But they scored 20 points on those 7 possessions.
Good grief.
They did. Scored an and 1. That's 3 points. Then they hit a 3. Then they got another and 1 for 3 points. Then they got fouled shooting 3 and made all 3 baskets or free throws. Then they got a 2-pointer. Then they got another 3, and then they got fouled on another 3-point attempt. I made all 3 free throws. They scored 20 points in 3.5 minutes and cut the lead like significantly. It got so close in this game. They were ahead by 30 points, and they got to be 60 71-64 with 5 minutes to go. Like, that game is in doubt. It's up by 7 with 5 minutes to go. Like, they are tanking this game. They are collapsing. But no, Gonzaga figured out how to make some stops finally. They finished the last 5 minutes with a 12-8 advantage, and they won the game. So, all's well that ends well. Lauren Whitaker is a stud. She got another 19 points. Allie shot okay in this game, had 13 points. It was great to see Inez Betancourt have a good game. She had 16 points and only 2 turnovers, which is big for her because her biggest issue was turning the ball over like crazy. But she had a great game. So the women are currently 83rd in the net, which is higher than they were last year at any point. But they have a huge opportunity, guys. Next week on Tuesday, they play Arizona State. Folks, Arizona State's 11-0. They haven't played anybody, but they have wins over Santa Clara, who's 65th in the net, and Penn State, who's 64th in the net. So they haven't beat anybody like really good, but they are 11-0, third in the net. Huge opportunity for the women. The Sun Devils, not a great 3-point shooting team, but a really good rebounding team. They have a couple women worth paying attention to. Gabby Elliott, 15 points a game. McKenna Brackens, 15 points a game. So that's one to watch. Big opportunity for the women. Let's go.
Let's go, ladies.
There's no chance that they would have any sort of at-large hopes, right?
Well,
I can't.
I mean, I don't follow the women game as well as some, but I would have to say that they'd have to run the table. I mean,
okay.
They don't have any big wins, right? They just don't. They got solid wins. UC Davis is okay, and but they don't have any great wins. They beat Marquette's a good program, but they're not a great team. But they're a solid Power 5 team. They beat Marquette. If they beat Arizona State, that would probably be their biggest. But
I just don't see how that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing what we know about the women's game, like
there is at some point, and this is for the same for the men too. The sheer number of wins you can compile could overwhelm the committee. Like if they don't lose another game and they're like 28-4. And then they lose in the WCC championship game, which they, as you guys know, they love losing the WCC.
They sure do. Yeah.
But if they're like 28-4, which probably won't happen because they're just not that great. But that is a gaudy number of wins, and then I could see them getting an at-large. But because at that point, if they run off 25 straight wins, they're probably going to be in the top 50 in the net.
One would think. Well,
anyway,
but that's not going to happen. So
it starts with the Arizona State game. Let's win.
There you go. Right, let's get one of those, and then we'll talk. And then, speaking of former Pac-12 teams that are now on Gonzaga's schedule again. Hey, look, we get to play UCLA again. Yay!
Hey, this is like a lot of.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers. Everyone we play stinks now. UCLA actually doesn't stink yet. They're okay. They're 30th in KenPom, and they're like, I don't know what they are in the net, but they're not
50 in the net. They're 50.
They're not
5-0 in the net.
They haven't become worthless like Oregon or Creighton, or even Oklahoma to a lesser extent. So we should be thankful that we're playing a team that's probably going to remain a quad 1 game instead of like a team like Oregon, which we thought was going to be quad 1, but now it's like quad 3.
UCLA.
Yeah. Oh, the Fighting Mick Cronin's my favorite coach of all time. That little pissed off rabid squirrel that somehow is in a suit.
Is he the worst, the most disliked coach in the country collectively for us, or would we say Hurley's worse?
No, Hurley at least has a touch of self-deprecation, and I won't call it. Maybe self-awareness. He calls himself like the only asshole in the room, and at least he's aware of it. I think Cronin thinks he's awesome. I think Cronin thinks he's.
I think I like Hurley more than Cronin.
Yeah, he's the absolute worst. There's no doubt about it.
Syphilis more than gonorrhea. Like we're not picking from high end things here, but
he's so terrible.
I would rather play for Randy Bennett. Right?
Oh, Randy Bennett a mile over Mick Cronin, but
yeah,
I wouldn't want to have a beer with him
despite their
either.
physical similarities.
Oh my god,
they're both just bald guys.
Worst,
just bald white guys. But Cronin is just a miserable piece of shit. He's so fucking.
He looks miserable. He looks like he doesn't have any fun. He looks like. Do you remember when
He's
Pitino
so
came
uptight
back?
in that three-piece suit.
Oh my
that
god,
was
with the
always
suit
too
all the
tight.
time, and he's like his tie is too tight, his knot's way too big, and he just looks like he's uncomfortable.
And he's so
trying
pissed
to be
off all the time.
He's trying to be Pitbull, but he plays like the worst. He plays just like miserable style of basketball that's annoying and not fun to watch. And he's just.
Do you remember when Pitino came back for St. John's, and he made that comment that it was like sometime in like the middle of the season where it was just like everybody sucks and we were like crap, and he just kind of went off on his players.
Yeah,
and like this is like the least fun I'm having. That is Cronin's best day. Every game looks like that.
Yeah, he does that.
He looks like he's not enjoying himself in the slightest under any set of circumstances.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about UCLA and that friggin' potato with a tie they call Mick Cronin. Let's do the tail.
All right, Gonzaga is ranked third in KenPom, folks. They scored 92.9 points per contest, and that's 11th best in the country.
It's pretty good. UCLA KenPom, number 30, good for 77.2 points per game, which is not very many. That's 202nd in the country.
Tempo, big difference here. Gonzaga's at 71.2 possessions. That's 56th.
This is what I'm talking about. The horrible Mick Cronin basketball. 65.6. 333rd in the nation in tempo, you miserable prick.
From 2-point land, Gonzaga makes 60% of those baskets at 27th best.
The Bruins here up in Westwood, just up the road here, 53.5%, 129th in the country.
Mark Few's lads have brought their 3-point percentage up to 35.6 after their two great showings last weekend at 91st in the country now.
That's pretty good, but not as good as the Bruins, who are shooting 37.74%, and that's 45th in the country.
Gonzaga's up to 72.1% from the free throw line, 164th.
It's pretty good. Evenly matched here. UCLA's at 72%, 169th.
Adjusted offensive efficiency. Gonzaga is 7th best in the country at 124.1 points per 100.
Sexy. UCLA is at 42nd at 117.9.
Flip it to the defense. Gonzaga's 4th, giving up 91.3 points per 100 possessions.
UCLA at 98.4 points per 100 possessions. Good for 35th in the country.
Turnovers per game, 10.5 for GU. That's 14.1%, which is 27th best.
This is, again, very interesting. UCLA, total turnovers per game, 10.9, so pretty even with Gonzaga. However, because they play 5 possessions a game, their percentage is at 16.3, which is 117th in the country. So by percentage, not so great.
Not so great. Gonzaga grabs 38% of their misses on offense, so that's 27th best offensive rebounding team.
Awfully good. The Bruins of UCLA, 35.4%, 71st in this country of ours.
The tape has been told.
The tape is told.
Man, I know I feel like
in tempo.
I feel like I
Not
beat this
gonna be
into
a
the
pretty
ground
game.
every time. Like there's some team that's close to this, but it just feels like a St. Mary's regen with like a shorter, balder guy.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he's probably not balder, but like they're, an okay defense. They're not nearly as efficient in offense traditionally as St. Mary's is. And they just, like they don't even have, their best win is at UW, which is a solid win. It's top 50 in KenPom. But they lost to Arizona, mostly home by a couple of points. And then, that's not a bad loss. And they lost to Cal, which is, they're not very good.
Cal is
they
bad.
don't,
pretty bad.
like they have a bunch of wins over mid to high 200 team. Like there's just,
They played Arizona tough.
Yeah. They just feel unremarkable to me.
They play hard. They really physical. This is actually going to be a good test for the physicality. I mean, we haven't played many games against teams that can match our physicality. When we finally did play a team that was our kryptonite, Michigan beat us by 40, and now UCLA is going to, they always muck it up and play hard, and every game we play against UCLA is close. We know it's probably, they're going to play the same way again. So, they will play physical, and that's a good test. I'm excited to see how we react to it. They don't have this same, even close to the front court that Michigan has, but Arizona's a great team, And they had them. They were up by 8 points with 7 minutes to go in that game against Arizona. Jaden Bradley hit that three for the Cats, like 90 seconds left to put them up. But I mean, their defense gave Arizona trouble that game. They 15 turnovers. I mean, that was their best game. They lost it, but it was really tight. So they have the ability to play.
Let's talk a little bit about probably their best player and the guy who is the focus of our Creature Report.
Activate Creature Report.
Facts. This is an interesting case. It's an interesting case because the guy's not having a great season, but he was the most coveted, well, maybe top 3 or 4 most coveted.
Right up there.
Transfers, and probably the most coveted point guard coming over from New Mexico. 20 points a game, like 10 or 11 assists a game. I don't know what it was, but he was an All-American honorable mention last year. Arguably the most coveted transfer in the portal. Sorry, 20-6 last year with New Mexico. This year is at 12. He's still getting 6 assists, 12-6 per game. But not shooting it well is Donovan.
He forgot how to shoot entirely.
He totally forgot. I mean, he only shot like 67 3-pointers last year, but he shot them at 41%. So he shot
Guess
them
how many he's
sparingly.
made this year? Guess how many? Guess how many?
I know how many.
I know how many,
You
too.
can tell us all.
1.
That's not very many.
7%. 1 of 13. So he doesn't shoot a lot, but you got to be able to hit an outside. Like last year, he didn't shoot a lot of threes. He shot 67, but he made 28 of them or something like that. So that's what he's not doing. His field goal overall is down 13%. His field goal shooting percentage is down 13%. His free throw shooting percentage is down 16%. He's just not shooting the ball well. And that's interesting when he's got such a high usage because he's 27% usage.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the ball in his hands all the time. And Tyler Bilodeau is their best scorer and the most efficient player on their team, arguably maybe Sky Clark. But Bilodeau is the next highest usage at 22%. Donovan just dominates the ball at 28%, 27%. So he needs to play better for them to be UCLA that everyone thought they'd be, which was a top 15 team. Like that's what people were thinking of this team heading into the year, top 15.
To put it in a little bit of context, that usage rate is kind of on par with Ty and Grant Foster and a couple of points higher than both EK and Huff.
Yeah.
So no one's coming close to Vogel, but that's a different thing.
His offensive rating
100% of possessions.
I don't know. I mean, I've only watched the second half of that UCLA or that Arizona game, so I haven't watched their season. But his offensive rating is down 15 points from last year's All-American year. Like it's everything offensively.
Everything about it is super weird.
Yeah, except for his pass. I mean, he's still a great passer and he's getting his assists. But yeah, something's not clicking. We need to keep him in that rut.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. He can
With the
figure it
pressure
out starting Sunday.
on the perimeter.
Yeah, let's not have his breakout game be against us.
He's not a big dude, right? He's only 6'2". So in theory, he'll have Mario on him at least to start, but you could definitely switch on somebody who can really make his life miserable with the ball, but you can't do something like leave Sky Clark, who's over 50% from 3.
Yeah, he's had a good start.
Over a legit 37, over 3 a game and 4 a game. And so, I don't know, given the way he's played, do you just sort of make Dent try and beat you?
I mean, I think so. You can sag off him for at least the first few possessions, although you want to be careful not like letting him build confidence, but our perimeter defense is good. They're not going to give away open looks.
I think you approached it the same way you approached the other games he played with the perimeter, aggressive perimeter defense. The same way we've been playing.
Keep them from getting in their sets. Although it's hard, they're going to make you defend for the entire shot clock. That's a problem. They're going to
rebounds. Make sure it's one possession and not one shot clock's worth of defense and not 2.
Yeah. No, that's a good.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, they're not a great offensive rebounding team, but they're not bad. They're top 70, and that's going to be one of those where a couple of those extra possessions will feel more back-breaking than the numbers might suggest.
They don't have any. I mean, they have. Okay, so Xavier Booker is their biggest dude, and he's actually a pretty good offensive rebounder, 9%. No one else in their front court is that great. Steven Jamerson actually is better, but he doesn't have. He's a rotational big. He plays like 12 minutes a game. He doesn't have enough to qualify for to be ranked in the KenPom rankings. But he does have a higher offensive rebounding percentage. But like their other front court, Tyler Bilodeau, we haven't talked about him much, but he's a really good player. He can shoot from outside. He's a big guy, 6'9", and efficient too. Really, really good from inside the arc, 62%. And don't send him to the line because he won't miss.
No.
But he's not a great rebounder. I mean, he's an okay rebounder, but I don't think they should have trouble keeping UCLA off the offensive glass. I'm not that worried about that.
We should be able to do that. There's some interesting on the Evan Mia site. They have like key metrics, and one of their things is their assist percentage is really important to their victory. If they assist on greater than like 53% of their buckets, their winning percentage is like 78-80%. And I think that bodes well for us because Gonzaga is aggressive. We don't give up a lot high assist rates. Like we haven't seen that at all. So Gonzaga does a pretty good job of preventing those from happening.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So I like that. I also like we got to get to the foul line. We got to do the best we can to draw some fouls. One of their key metrics is keeping their opponents under 15 free throw attempts for games. I think we should be able to exceed that. We're
not very good at getting to the line.
I know we're not.
We have a couple of guys who are decent at getting fouled, but we're not very good at getting to the line.
Well, I mean, Ike has that in him, but he hasn't really done it much this season. And Tyon Grant Foster, I think he'll get some trips.
Isn't it weird on that? I'm not taking too much of a bird walk, but Braden Huff is shooting lights out this year. He has taken 110 two-point shots, and he never goes to the foul line. He never gets fouled, which is great because he can't make foul shots. But isn't that weird that you would take that many shots? I mean, he's taken 110 shots. EK has taken 89 shots. He's been to the foul line like 8 times or 9 times. He shot 17 free throws. EK shot 43 free throws, and he's taken like 21 more shots.
Is that because it's that floater? It's
a floater. Yeah, he's not going up with power moves.
No, he's not. He gets the ball up so quick you can't really block it, and you can't really try to block it. No one fouls him, and I'm just fine with that, by the way, because I didn't want Braden Huff anywhere near the free throw line.
Yeah, no, we don't want him getting a line, but EK getting a line. Yes, please.
No. You know what he is, though? He's made twice as many threes as Donovan Dent. It's not.
I will be very.
Sounds like it should be good, but it's not.
No.
Oh man.
No. It does sound like it should be good.
It'll be interesting. Funny. Like this will be a good. I'm very interested to see this game, to watch this game. It is going to be physical, and it's going to be a really good test to see us battle with a team that won't back down like Kentucky did. And think about like Alabama. They don't really want to be that physical either. They want to play fast and pass the ball around, shoot threes, and dribble past you and let you run up and down with them. Like they don't love physicality either. Like this Michigan was Michigan and gulp. But UCLA is another physical team that's kind of close to St. Mary's-ish, right? They don't have anyone like McKeever playing down low like St. Mary's does. That guy is friggin' huge. And UCLA doesn't have a McKeever, but it is similar. So
it's gonna be interesting.
It'll be a nice test.
Defense is really important in this game. Duh, it's important in every game, but especially because there's going to be so few possessions, because they're going to draw out everything. They're not going to take that many shots. So you've got to limit their offensive efficiency compared to your own. I guess that's true in every single game, but especially for this team, which relies on that ability with that low it's the same Mary's thing. It's the thing they always do. You reduce the number of possessions, the margin for error slims, and you get the benefit of the variance. Hopefully. So
this
keep 'em off the
feels like.
glass.
Sorry,
no, go on.
I'll say this feels like one of those games where, in kind of addition to keeping off the glass, like if somebody gets hot from 3, that's going to make a huge difference for either team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, one of the key metrics is keeping is for UCLA is shooting better than 30. I mean, this is kind of for everybody, right? But 36.8% from 3-point. If they shoot better than that, their win percentage goes a lot higher. So
yeah, they don't shoot a ton of threes. They're not like an Alabama that wants to chuck it up, or Kentucky from last year, but they are a good 3-point shooting team, so they take good shots, and that in and of itself is
right.
Defense.
Interesting to try and defend.
Fly around.
I mean, I don't think they can hang. I mean, it'll be a tough game, but I don't think we're going to win by 20. But they don't have. I don't think they have the horses to hang with it. I think we're going to be a rebounding edge is going to be significant, and the defense. Our defense is so much better than the defense that played UCLA last year, or the year before, So I kind of see a 10-point, 12-point win.
Now, if that's the case, that would be the biggest margin of victory in this series in 3 seasons. This game is always close.
It's always close, right? But I just don't. I can't see it being close. I just think we're way better.
And also, speaking of it, there's another game where we have a little bit of a revenge factor from last year. If you remember, there's the game that Battle got kicked out of when he fell down and kind of grabbed the guy's neck.
Yeah.
And ended up getting removed. And then, what was it? The guy elbowed Innocente in the face, and they called a foul on Innocente and didn't review it.
Oh, my God.
At the end of the game, and you're just sort of like, okay, cool. That seems fair. Those are equitable things. Man.
Yep.
Terrible. This is gonna be one of those games, too, where it's going to feel 3 times as infuriating if it's not going Gonzaga's way, because they're going to be so miserable to watch, right? That's how I feel about St. Mary's. Like, when you're playing against them, it's, there's obviously a rivalry there too, but like, it's not like you're playing against, I don't know, like some of those Pepperdine teams that would play fast under Romar or something, or felt like they were playing fast. Like, let's use Pacific. Pacific under Stoudemire played slow and smashed around and kind of yucked it up. But you never watch that and we're like, this is annoying. Like, you watch St. Mary's, you watch UCLA, and when it's not going well, it just feels extra, like, miserable.
Yeah, I hate their guts. I hate them. I want to beat them badly. They suck.
Let me ask this. How much has your confidence level gone up, given the way we responded to the Michigan loss in Kentucky? How much does that carry over here? Do you have any extra confidence? Do you sort of dismiss it because it's 3 games ago now?
It hasn't gone up that much, but it didn't really go down that much.
Yeah, I think I'm even Q.
Like, I still think, even after the Michigan loss, I still thought we were Final Four caliber. Now, Michigan, maybe not. I don't. It's not like I want to get Michigan again. I want to avoid them. I think that they're absolutely Gonzaga kryptonite, and I'm scared as hell to play them again. But I still think we're Final Four caliber, and I don't really feel more confident after beating a crappy Kentucky team and then North Florida.
Yeah, let's get a win in Seattle, huh? Let's go in and
there's a thing.
Beat these guys. We're a better team. We are by any measure, we're a better squad.
Are you at all worried about EK not playing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, seems like they got him. He played the Kentucky game after
and played amazing
after the ankle injury, which was against Maryland. So you'd think
apparently he tweaked it.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I would think that he'll be fine. He essentially he's going to have like a week.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Yeah,
all said and done.
I think this sounds, based on the comments after, it sounded like the North Florida sitting out was essentially,
they didn't need
don't risk it.
Yeah.
We can beat North Florida without you.
Yes,
and
we
honestly,
can.
like we've talked about the depth all season. There's another way where that plays in. You don't have to push EK for no reason.
Yeah,
right.
Not at all.
You kind of in seasons past, you may have kind of had to been like, yeah, suffer it through. We'll make it work. Give him rest. He doesn't need it. No. He's in perfectly good shape. Christ knows he's on a little bit of a heater now after one bad game. So it's a short heater, but
it's like that scene in Super Troopers was like, oh, that guy. Don't worry about that guy.
Don't worry that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
No. Less than 5 minutes. The Campbell Camels.
Ooh.
They're better than North Florida.
Yeah, they sure are. Boy, they're bad. They're bad. They're bad basketball team.
We've played the Campbell Camels before.
Have we?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Well, they're pretty.
Say that I recall that.
We have definitely played the Campbell Camels.
They're bad. They should feel bad. They're 350th in Camp.
Should feel bad.
And 3-point percentage. They're they can't score. They can't score. They can't score. So they're
and their defense is worse. So but they play kind of fast. They're top 70-ish on tempo, which is nice.
Okay, we could probably score 140 points in this game if we decided we wanted to. They're going to score.
They're a little better than that. They've had 2 big-ish games at Wake Forest, at Wisconsin, got thumped by 30. At Wisconsin, got thumped by 40, almost 50 at Wake. Like, they're going to get blown out against most good teams. But they're not North Florida.
Will they score more points against us than Kentucky did?
Ooh,
that's the prediction I'm looking for.
What a great question. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, man, I finally found it.
Oh.
They played Gonzaga. We played Campbell way longer ago than I thought. 2013.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We beat them 74 to 52. Beat them 74 to 52. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Kevin Pangos did not have a good game. He had 5 points, but 5 steals. You know who did have a good game?
Hold on.
Huge piece.
Yeah. Man. Pour one out for the huge piece. Yeah. Wherever you are.
And Elias Harris checking in with 11 points and 6 rebounds.
Cool.
Elias Harris. I missed Elias Harris.
Ken Palmline is 30 and has them scoring 63.
Which would be more than Kentucky scored.
Yeah, it sure would.
So I'm going to go with yes, but also I'm going to pick Gonzaga to cover.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mard, I need your prediction for UCLA.
They're going to beat UCLA by the score of 80 to 69.
80?
Now, is that 82 269 or 80 269? Okay. Steve Largent, naturally. Monk?
Oh, man. Do we get to 80 points in this game? I don't think so. I think it's like
it's down. We averaged 93, so
but
it's way down.
But we're gonna have at least 6 fewer possessions in this one. So I'm gonna go.
So I'm gonna go like 9. It's like 8 points, 8 or 9.
I'm gonna go 74. I think 74-64. I think it's a 10-point victory.
74-64.
We agree on that.
I will say UCLA's game with the most possessions this season. They've had 3 games with 71. We have had 3 games with 70, and everything else has been higher. So, for whatever that's worth, the 3 games that was 70 were Arizona State. We only scored 77. Maryland, we scored 100, and Kentucky, and we scored 94. So it doesn't seem to do too much if you can't defend.
Yeah, but they can defend.
A better team. So you'll find out my prediction at the end of the pod.
Oh.
Which is as good a time as any to say that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for download and listening. If you'd like to contribute to the show, you're patreon.com/Free Ira Brown. We're on the social medias at Free Ira Brown and Instagram at Free Ira Brown Pod if you want to see our ugly mugs. We will, next week we're going to have a mega show because it's going to be the preview for Christmas. We're going to do some conference stuff. We're going to do some non-conference stuff. We may have a guest in the works. Who knows? We'll have to dive all in. But we will be back. It's going to be about a week from now. So hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of the week, and we will talk to you next week after Gonzaga 100, UCLA 62. I almost got that against Kentucky, by the way.
You did.
Really close.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that that's what Michigan basically did to us.
They call her Sweet Miss Georgia Brown.
By the way, the Maryland game was 100-61.
Oh, wow.
Go Zags.
Go Zags.
Go Zags.